Hi, it's Tom Selleck. Thanks for joining us. You ever thought about a reverse mortgage for your home? I'm telling you, I'd not be pushing this reverse mortgage on you if I didn't trust the reverse mortgage. Even though I have 17 homes and I don't have a reverse mortgage on any of them. But then again, I'm Tom Selleck, and I've banked a lot of money and still received checks from royalties. Plus, the old reverse mortgage folks ain't doing those commercials for fun. Corey Johnson with you. I like Tom Selleck. I'm not busting on him. I even liked his baseball movie, Mr. Baseball. Yeah, you right. It was all right. Thursday afternoon, Christmas week, holiday season, all that good stuff. You know, a week from this Monday, it'll be 2023. We are moving into the future. Actually, a week from Sunday, it'll be 2023. We're moving into the future. This Sunday, Christmas. Yeah, you're right. A Saturday, Christmas Eve. A Saturday, New Year's Eve in New Orleans. Watch out. Double dipping. Not only New Year's Eve, but a Saturday night. Gives a whole new definition to Saturday Night Live. And it never rains at Tiger Stadium. All right, it is a Thursday afternoon. 65 degrees right now. 65. And it ain't no jive. I wish I was jiving. It's going to drop about 40 degrees in the next 15 hours. 40 degrees in the next 15 hours. 65 now, 25 in the morning. That's just crazy, huh? 65 now, 25 in the morning. There's someone like coming up 17 on the City Park South wearing shorts and a short sleeve shirt right now playing golf. There's someone hitting the tennis ball. There's somebody hunting going, I'm fired up about this cold weather coming through. Might get the ducks flying. 65 degrees right now, and it's going to be 25 degrees in the morning. Welcome to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Corey Johnson with you. We're broadcasting live from a Perkins, like a Shoney's, but we also have pies. Come on by. We're on the corner of Main Street and Elm. We're right across the river in St. Paul today at the Perkins. Come check us out. My buddy's in Denver. He did a little snapshot of his, the thermometer in his car on the dashboard. A little close-up of the odometer with the temperature. -12 in Denver. -12 in Denver. I sent him mine where it said 63 degrees or something like that. He cursed at me with an expletive with an exclamation point, all via text. And then I sent him the New Orleans future forecast, and I said, it's a nor'easter, a blizzard for us. We don't know how we're going to handle this. The only blessing is it isn't ice and sleet and snow. Then it would be a total disaster in New Orleans. But -12 in Denver. Kind of ended the text with, the lowest temperature I've ever experienced in my life was about, I think, 12 or 14 degrees. Now, with the wind chill and the humidity, it might have felt colder, and it was just for a moment. Went on a ski trip like 30 years ago to like Aspen or Snowmass. It was like college age, 25-ish. And you get the 7-day ski pass, and that one day you're just not skiing. It was kind of just bad conditions. 90% of folks weren't skiing. We went skiing that day. We at least went to the top of the mountain and skied down in like, I don't want to say blizzard conditions, but like a heavy rain in New Orleans, and you still get in the car and go drive somewhere. We're just used to it. It was a heavy snowfall and sideways and 19 degrees at the bottom of the mountain and 12 degrees or 14 at the top, and just absurd. conditions, icing up on the goggles, all of that. Just one run, go eat lunch, go in and call it a day. It's too rough. That's about the coldest weather I've ever experienced in my life. It's kind of like that coldest weather you've ever experienced, fastest speed you've ever traveled in a car. It's kind of one of those questions. You sort of go, let me think about that. And that's about as cold as I've ever experienced. That NFC title game in 2006, Saints at Chicago, the Bears and the Saints. That NFC title game was pretty ridiculous. I think it was 22 degrees. 22 was the temperature. But yeah, I think I've experienced just a little bit colder than that. Like I said, 12, maybe 14 degrees. My buddy in Denver is at negative 12 today. Just negative 12. He just said it's ridiculous. Just absurd conditions. Run out of the house, get in the car, just crazy. Negative 12 in Denver. See if I can check out the entire Denver forecast because we're going to experience some of that. It's 1 degree right now, mostly sunny and 1. It's 1 in Denver. They go down to 0 in about an hour. Then it's negative 2, negative 4, negative 5. They'll get down to 9 below 0 around 2 a.m. But boy, when you wake up tomorrow morning in Denver, it's only -7. It's only -7. And they'll hit a whopping high of 15 tomorrow in Denver, but really sunny. Now, Denver will hit next week almost 60 degrees by Tuesday. That's crazy. That's like a 70-degree swing in temperature. We're getting pretty close to that. We'll have a low of around 25 on the South Shore, and we'll hit about 70 degrees next week, next Wednesday or Thursday, a few days later than Denver. Yeah, this is a major Arctic blast that essentially is sort of coming through Denver, through Oklahoma City, through Dallas, through Alexandria, through Baton Rouge, into New Orleans. We're about 2 days out of Denver's weather, a day out of Dallas's weather, generally speaking. This is an Arctic blast. You remember the dust from Africa? This is kind of the opposite of that. Same concept as the dust. A continent away, weather from a continent away is coming in our direction because of the wind. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, overnight freeze warning. The triple Ps are obviously in effect. Come on, people. Snap out of it, especially with the pets. I mean, the pipes, you don't want to break them. It's expensive. They can be repaired, but you don't want to not wrap them and be aware of that. Plants can be replaced, but yeah, you don't want to kill the plants. So take care of the pipes and the plants, of course, but take care of the outdoor pets. Are you kidding? Leave the garage door open. Put a box in there with some blankets. Ideally, go to the Walgreens, get a little heat blanket. Put it in a pillowcase. Put that on the top of all the stuff so there's a heat blanket. Get a little space heater from a Walgreens, from a Lowe's, Ace Hardware, from a Home Depot, a little space heater. Put that 2 feet in front of the little box aimed at it. Be safe, be smart. And the blanket, they go off sometimes in 2 hours. You have to get one that stays on. Don't put the effort for. I didn't know the blanket cuts off in 2 hours. I'm telling you, it cuts off in 2 hours. Hey, tonight for dinner, they're open till 9 p.m. They open their doors in about 45 minutes. You can go there in about 45 minutes. 5 to 9 p.m. tonight, dinner at Fausto's Italian Bistro. Fausto's Italian Bistro, some of the city's best Sicilian, some of the city's best Italian, New Orleans inspired. What are you waiting for? Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. So good. A lot of you people that know about Fausto's are going, yeah, Corey's right. Fausto's is damn good. And then a lot of you, man, I've seen Fausto's. I know where it is, driven by it for years. Always said I was going to go there. Heard Corey talking about them for years. What are you waiting for? Tonight, Sicilian, Italian, easy parking, easy in and out, great service, authentic Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Corey Johnson with you. 65 degrees now. It'll be 40 degrees colder by morning, 25 in the a.m. South Shore of New Orleans. North Shore, colder.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com. For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore and Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool side. NOLAAC.com, your cool side.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Hey guys, Christmas Sunday, Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, real, natural, billion-year-old diamonds. Something special, something limited, something that goes up in value. Not 3-week-old man-made diamonds that go down in value. The market's slowly but surely getting flooded by them. Unlimited. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, real natural diamonds on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Billings, Montana, -19. Earlier today, Bozeman's Airport, 44 below. We're going to go from 65 degrees right now to 25 degrees. Ronal Serpas, former NOPD chief, joins us. How you doing, Ronal?
Pretty good, Corey. How are you?
Doing well. If you were the chief, what would be going on right now? It's 65 degrees at 4:20 on a Thursday, and by tomorrow morning, it's going to be 25 degrees in New Orleans. Any other place up north doesn't really matter. Down here, it's extreme.
Well, right now, I'd be taking advantage of playing around the golf because it's such a beautiful afternoon, preparing for the freeze overnight, though. And we would take that very seriously. We'd be very concerned. Our officers would be on the lookout for people who couldn't shelter from the weather, and we'd do everything we could to help them.
Well, we're thinking the same way. I knocked out 18 holes at Wonderful English Turn this morning. I don't know if you'd call that golf. It was Bogeyville. And now I'm working hard, getting ready for tomorrow. Hey,
I found myself shooting, 47, 50, 55 on the front nine.
Yeah. You got to work on that, Chief. You can do better than that. You're big. You should be busting the drive out there about 270.
Oh, I can hit the drive as far as I want. It's just I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah, you got to keep it straight. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, I love when I go get a lesson. Like, what are your tendencies? Like, do you hit it left or right? I hit it all over the place. What do you mean? What are my tendencies? Long, short,
exactly
left, right, on the ground, in the air. Good sometimes, bad a lot. What do you want from me? All right. What are y'all on spring break right now? Not spring break, Christmas break, and then when do you crank back up teaching at Loyola?
January 16th, we start up again.
And what are you going to be?
January 17th.
What do you be teaching in the spring, Chief?
We're full time, so I teach 2 undergraduate classes. One will be in criminal investigation, one's in criminal justice introduction, and the other is a graduate course in managing administrations of large public organizations like police departments and public safety departments.
You ever look up and somebody you know is auditing one of your classes, or somebody just pops in and sits in the back row for a session?
Not often, but we ask people sometimes to come talk to the class because the undergraduate students really appreciate hearing from people who are in the real world, doing the work.
Yep. We're visiting with former NOPD Chief Ronal Serpas. Hey, what did the NOPD lose today in Shaun Ferguson retiring?
I think Shaun gave a quarter of a century of his life to the city and the community and the department, and I appreciated him. He was a good leader and a strong leader. When I was the superintendent, we identified him as the future. I think they lost somebody who was steady, who understood how to fight crime. Shaun was a tremendous crime fighter during my time, but he had about 40% more cops back then. So he had to fight 4.5 years with about 35, 40% less cops than he really needs to get the job done. So I take my hat off to him for giving it a good hard try.
You're kind of running a Hyundai at the Indy 500.
Perfect. Yes. Yes. That's exactly right.
It's a car. You can complete the race. You're coming in dead last and you can't compete. And it's just an uphill battle.
No, and unfortunately,
you're getting lapped and passed.
Right. And what I would add to that analogy is that the fans wanted you to win in every possible way, but the ownership didn't give you nothing but a Hyundai versus Indy 500.
Exactly.
And the ownership of the city.
A real car that you had a fighting chance. Yeah.
Right. The elections have consequences. And this city has elected multiple councils and 2 mayors who believe by their actions that shrinking the size of the police department was the best idea. And they stood election and they won, and I guess we all have to accept it.
What do you think of Interim Chief Michelle Woodfork? You've worked with her. She's been on the force 32 years. She could have already retired, called it a day.
Exactly. Well, it follows up my last sentence that what Michelle is going to have to face is a department that's going to have more murders than since the 1990s, armed robbery rate that is through the sky, 4 years of crime increases. And I respect her service. I respect her uncle and her daddy. Her uncle, Warren Woodfork, promoted me to sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and major, and was incredibly important to me in my career. And I've always known Michelle to be a hard worker. She was a sergeant when I was here, so I don't know about her senior leadership, but she was a hard worker. She came to work. She did what she was asked to do. Occasionally, we all have different issues that come up, and we try to do the right thing. And I wish her the very best. I mean, she's got the same problem Shaun's got, Corey. She don't have an ownership that's going to give her anything to work with.
We're visiting with former Chief Ronal Serpas, joining us on the program. She has more resources, I guess, than Ferguson had, right? She'll have more resources?
I don't think so. I think she's going to have the same, much more likely less.
I thought the NOLA coalition and all these initiatives were to, and all this money to retain and try to bring in new recruits. I thought it would be working with more, not less.
Well, it wouldn't be working with more today. That was only done just a couple of weeks ago in the budget process. It remains to be seen, and we all hope that they will be able to retain cops, and we all hope that they will be able to hire cops. But this administration has 5 years demonstrated it's not very serious in hiring people, and let's hope maybe it turned around. But, Corey, you got to ask yourself a question. And your father and I dealt with this, and he wrote a great editorial about it when it was my turn in 1996. Why is it, Corey, so many times in the history of New Orleans, several hundred business, community, and religious leaders have to come together, rally, and force elected leaders to do what they should have been doing for public safety all along?
I don't know.
Isn't this like the fourth time that's happened since 1996?
Yep. We've got a lot of middlemen that have city contracts that aren't needed. I guess we have to create middlemen in between the politicians and the citizens, because kind of the opposite way, because they're not getting the work done by the politicians. No, it's sad. It's literally an extra layer, this NOLA coalition, and I like that it's there. I'm sure you do too, but in most cities, that's why you just go to the polls. You elect these people, and they're supposed to do the job, not have a group of people point the finger at the elected officials and tell you should be doing the job. It's absurd. You're right.
Well, that's been my experience in other places in the country, so I don't know how to answer that question. I will tell you this: on the city council, when Oliver Thomas was a council member in the 90s, he understood crime fighting. He understood what Richard Pennington and I needed to make New Orleans one of the safest big cities in America, reduce murder by 50%, reduce violent crime by 37%. And by the way, Corey, we hired 500 people. I think OT gets it. I think he understands it. The other six, I don't see much effort yet to show that they really get it. But maybe Oliver will be the shining leadership example we can look to.
No, I 110% agree with that. I had him on the show last week. And I think if you followed Oliver Thomas as like a reporter, you'd say he's a Democrat, he's liberal. And then his policing mentality isn't even like conservative. It is pretty hardcore right. He is like, the other day he was like, these cars driving around, no license plate. Oh, that they're just somebody that took that car, or it's an illegal car. Pull them over. They probably have drugs, an illegal gun, probably have a warrant out for their arrest. He was saying all kind of stuff. He's like, don't go after people for no reason, but if they have a car with no license plate or an expired brake tag or a car that's broken down or a light out. And he goes, we see these cars all over New Orleans. I'm like, God, you're so right. He goes, you know who the criminal is driving around. Oliver's saying that. I'm like, wow, listen to Oliver Thomas.
And that's the way he was in the 90s, and I think he believes in what he's saying. I don't think he's saying it just for a soundbite like others do. And let me share this with you, Corey. The city council publishes a dashboard every single day. You ought to take a look at it, and it shows consent decree activity of the police department. One of those activities is traffic stops and suspicious person stops. I want you to think of the roller coaster Zephyr. You remember the Zephyr?
Oh, yeah.
The numbers of people that the police have tried to encounter constitutionally to look for suspicious people looks like the Zephyr. From August of 21 into today, it's like a complete dropout. I mean, 1,400 people stopped year to date. 1,400 suspicious persons stopped year to date. I'm not saying you got to stop a bunch, but I know that you need to stop more than 1,400 in a city like New Orleans with 280 murders.
No, 1,400's 4 a day. That's a joke. That's a joke.
1,400, yeah, for the year, yeah. And I mean, the officers don't feel inspired by the leadership of the city, right?
No.
Shaun Ferguson knew how to fight crime. Shaun Ferguson knew how to look for suspicious people constitutionally. But, let's see what happens. Maybe Oliver's going to be a solution, and maybe he's the only one of the 8 that are elected at large and that are elected at the city council and mayor.
People like details. We know there's like a crime problem and how many people you pull over and all that kind of stuff. We're talking about what, Ronal? About 200 or 300 violent criminals in New Orleans? 200 or 300 maybe?
That's probably the case. It's been like that for a long time in many cities. And I know that some are saying that they think they've got about 100 of those people arrested, but I would suggest to you they're already back out on the street. And if you're only pulling over about 1,400 people a year who are suspicious with guns and warrants and hanging on corners and scaring grandmothers and their children in their front yards, I don't know how long those 100 they think they got are going to stay in anyway.
Yep. We're visiting with former NOPD Chief Ronal Serpas on the program. Corey Johnson, you're on the neutral ground. Coming right back, more with Chief Serpas. Don't move.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOAC.com, your cool spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
$65 degrees right now, 25 degrees when we wake up in the morning. That Arctic blast is heading our way. Former NOPD Chief Ronal Serpas, nice enough to join us this afternoon for a few more minutes. Hey, Chief, a national search. Talk is cheap. I don't really know what that means from the mayor. I'm glad that this is an interim chief appointment. I'm glad there's going to be a, quote, national search. Now I'm hoping it's a real national search, not the mayor conducting it internally, but a committee that's open, transparent, the public sees it. You have any idea what the mayor means by national search?
I know what national search means when it's done the right way. I was a national search candidate several times, appointed 3 different times, and that meant that there was a public airing of each of the candidates that was selected by a headhunter firm that went and looked for the very best in the country. Once those people were vetted by the headhunting firm, then you go through a very public vetting of community groups, of the police department. In places where I was chief, where there was unions, you would go meet with the unions, you'd meet with legislators, you would meet with council members. The whole thing is so transparent, it's like looking through a plate of glass. That's a national search. So let's see what's going to happen.
You know, folks could say, hey, Ronal Serpas came from within the department, but sort of, but not really. You were there for a long time, but then you were chief of the state police in Washington State. You were chief of police for Nashville, a city that was booming and growing at the time, that was bigger than New Orleans now, obviously, twice the size of the metro.
Twice the size, yeah.
And then you came to New Orleans as chief. So,
well, I was gone almost 10 years, Corey, and there's some people in my business who have gone back to their home departments, and there's some who haven't. But being gone for 10 years gave me the benefit, and this is what I said to the public committees when I was selected. It gives me the benefit of having been someplace else for a decade, learning new and different techniques. But yet, I know where to park my car. I know where St. Charles Avenue is. I know what the bank it is. I know where the Curbin is. I know what uptown, downtown, Riverbound, Lakebound met. And that was the uniqueness that I was able to offer, is that I knew a lot about the city as well, of having been successful somewhere else.
Yeah, best of both worlds, sort of hiring from within, and the resume, chief 2 other places, chief, top guy, not hiring from within a captain. Could someone like Michelle Woodfork work, hiring from within a captain, or in this type of situation, you have to hire a chief. You can't. I'd say Susan Hudson, like work in progress or someone learning on the job, but that's not even a good example. She's just pathetic. You can't hire someone that has to learn on the job, though, right?
In this condition, for our community and our visitors and our children, this is the worst time to try to find someone who's never been the boss before, and that's not anything to do with the good, fine men and women of the New Orleans Police Department. When Mayor Purcell hired me or Governor Locke hired me, it wasn't because there wasn't good people in the state police or in Nashville. It's because the mayor knew that circumstances required someone with a different set of experiences. And right now, New Orleans is a city that needs the very best set of experiences that anybody can bring to the table.
What's the difference between like what could happen here if they went outside than when they did 30 years ago, and it was Pennington from D.C. and you as his right-hand man?
Well, remember, in the second 4 years of Mayor Morial, by the way, none of that could have happened without Mayor Morial's strong leadership in making New Orleans safe, and that was important. That was the thing that made it happen. They had to give Richard Pennington a contract because he had become incredibly viable, and he was ready to move on, and the city offered him a contract with real protections, and that's what would probably have to happen because, Corey, when you're an out-of-town chief and you're looking at a community, the first thing you look at is what's the relationship between the elected executive and the elected legislature? What's the crime issue? What's the staffing question? And those three things right now, New Orleans has some significant challenges that candidates who have been around are going to be paying very close attention to, and they're going to demand the kind of compensation and protection of a contract if you want an experienced chief.
We're visiting a few minutes with former Chief Ronal Serpas on the program. Hey, Chief, another show we can talk about an appointed, anointed chief versus an elected chief.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm going to tell you, Corey, I never used to think New Orleans would have done better with an elected chief, but I've completely changed my opinion. I'm now thinking more like Rafi and some others. Let an elected chief go out there, create their own political capital, and not in New Orleans, you might have to do that. I worked for governors and mayors who were elected, and I didn't need that because they were strong and they were able to support our plan. In New Orleans, just like there's so many things different here than other places that we may or may not like, maybe New Orleans is ready for an elected chief. There's a lot of elected chiefs in Louisiana.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me about that, it's a political position. Just look at Jefferson Parish. That sheriff's like one of the most powerful politicians in the state. One could argue not so much LaPinto, but I think Newell and definitely Harry Lee. Harry Lee was more of a politician than a sheriff. So that worries me. I mean, you're a pure cop. You didn't have to go raise money and be a politician, only up to a point, but you were a pure cop. But just this appointed part, you get a national search, where if it was an elected chief, you don't get a national search. You're getting people from within. But the catch-22 of the national search with the appointed, and I'm wondering how do other places circumvent this or get by this? I mean, it's sort of like an NFL coaching job. You're going to a team where the GM in 2 years, his contract's up. The GM doesn't have security, or so you're the chief in Minneapolis or in Nashville or Washington State, San Diego, wherever, and you're coming to New Orleans knowing, okay, the mayor could be recalled. I could be gone then. The mayor's gone in 3 years. I could be gone then, and most likely will be gone then. How do you bring in a chief from outside if the best you can offer is like a 3-year contract, and that's if a recall doesn't go down? There's a lot of things that limit bringing in the best and the brightest, right?
All right? So, for example, real quick, if you had an elected chief, that person would be a politician. They could appoint a chief operating officer like sheriffs do that are very professional. Putting that aside for a minute, Nashville, the police chief was protected by civil service to avoid the turnover of mayors. There are many cities. El Paso, the police chief is appointed through civil service, so there's a no turnover or question of mayor. New Orleans isn't going to change that rule that fast, but there are some places that do it through civil service rules. There are some places that do it through strong contracts that can last longer than an administration, hopefully. But that's the point I was raising a few minutes ago. If you were a very experienced, successful, big city police chief, and you just looked at the discord between the council and the mayor, it might cause you some pause without having a contract, because there could be a change in the mayor's office in the next 6 months. There could be a change in 3 years.
Yep.
Well, there will be a change in 3 years.
And I'm guessing those other cities, a mayor doesn't appoint the police chief, or if does, the council approves it, and then the civil service thing kicks in at that point?
In some cases, yes. And it's not unusual, by the way, it's not unusual that the police chief appointment is confirmed, or department heads are confirmed by city councils. That's fairly common outside of New Orleans. So the fact that that was done here is not a bad thing in comparison to other cities. But what it does mean is that if you looked at it from a very positive point of view, or a truthful point of view, there's no mayor who appointed me who didn't already have the council on their side. This will just be doing it in a public way, which will hopefully make the council feel stronger about the appointment and be more willing to maybe pay attention to the needs of the police chief.
Aren't there some police chief candidates around the country that are going to just say no because New Orleans' chief is connected to the mayor, and when that term's up, you could be gone? Isn't that a limitation?
You know what? It is a limitation, but I could point right. It's funny you say that, Corey, because right now there are 3 colleagues of mine who are multiple big city police chiefs who came back out of semi-retirement, if you will, to take short-term jobs in cities that really needed a change artist. And that's 3 people who were very successful in cities far bigger than New Orleans, along the size of Nashville and bigger. And they're all working right now, but they're working on short time because they just wanted to get back in and help turn something around. So you never know who might say, hey, I'm ready to try this.
Yeah, and you got to find the special candidate. Some are out of the picture, but that kind of candidate, the younger candidate that wants to use it as a stepping stone maybe and doesn't mind, or the candidate that has so much confidence, hey, I'll fix it, and the next mayor will have to keep me around because the public's going to love what I did,
Well, that's happened to myself and many friends that we lasted longer than one administration because the community was satisfied, and that is that's a real possibility.
Yep. Hey, Ronald, before we let you go, is there anything we're missing on all of this?
New Orleans is one of the greatest cities on earth, but New Orleans has got to turn around. I mean, the number of murders and violent crimes, more than 660 people shot, Corey, in a city this small, something's got to change, and it shouldn't have taken us to get to this point for the political leadership to be forced by citizens groups yet again to try to get on board with making New Orleans the safest city in America.
Yeah, the car drifting, the shooting from car to car on the interstate, the car jackings, the car break-ins. Here's the kicker of it all, Ronald, which I think some folks would say isn't a big deal, but I think it just shows you the flavor of New Orleans and the mentality. These four-wheelers, 40, 50-year-old men and women riding around on four-wheelers in the city limits, arrest them, confiscate the four-wheeler, send a message, this tomfoolery is not allowed. It's insane. The four-wheeler thing just sends a message that it's the wild, wild west in New Orleans. Do whatever the hell you like.
It's a very serious problem because people have to expect that the rules will be applied so that they can be safe, and that doesn't sound very safe, does it?
No, I mean, just four-wheelers everywhere. I'm just like, man, this is basic. They don't have four-wheelers tooling around Jefferson. I don't go to Lakeside Mall. Some dude pulls up in a four-wheeler. Anyway, Chief, always a pleasure, man. Thanks so much. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and we'll see you next year.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, too.
That's Ronal Serpas joining us on the program. Love getting his insight on all of this. Corey Johnson with you.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
Already peaked out temperature-wise today, around 65 degrees. We'll drop about 40 degrees in the next 12 to 15 hours. When you wake up tomorrow morning on the south shore of New Orleans, it'll be 25 degrees. Tomorrow morning on the south shore of New Orleans, 25 degrees. Tomorrow morning on the north shore, it could be low 20s or high teens even tomorrow morning on the north shore of New Orleans. Low 20s, high teens possibly. That's just insane. 65 degrees now, 25 degrees in the morning. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, overnight freeze. No, chilly. It's chilly. Hey, that chilly, cold feeling up in Baton Rouge, LSU football the last couple of seasons, it's over with. Brian Kelly in his first year turning around the program. Really almost bookend season. Florida State lost to start the year. The missed extra point, kind of a sour taste in your mouth. The Texas A&M game, kind of a sour taste in your mouth. Everything in the middle, it was like the Midas touch by Brian Kelly. Overall, I'd say almost an A+, an A job. How did Brian Kelly do with a year under his belt in Tigertown, a football season besides the bowl game under his belt, and now recruiting? How is this guy as a recruiter? Mike Scarborough's been following high school LSU recruiting in particular for about 25, going on 30 years. Tigerbait.com is the website. And if I know Mike Scarborough, he's probably got some trial going right now for like $1. You can get on the site and check out all of the LSU news they've got with this recruiting cycle, probably like $1. Mike Scarborough joins us live from Tigertown. What's happening, Mike?
Yeah, live from Blue Bonnet and bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Traffic in Baton Rouge? I find that hard to believe.
Oh, yeah. I made the wrong move of getting in it right, taking the route by the mall.
Wow.
Smooth move, Mike.
Yeah, at least they've widened the I-10 through there, Mike. But yeah, that Baton Rouge has some of the worst traffic in America.
It's got the worst everything.
And that Acadian Thruway area, that's going to be a hard one to fix. Hey, Mike, Brian Kelly, fantastic job, a year under his belt. How did he do with the recruiting class so far?
I think he did pretty darn good. Look, a lot of people are upset about, a couple of guys that they didn't finish with late. But depending on where you look, it's right in the middle of the top 10. And, when I asked him the question last Saturday, when the dust settles on your high school signees and your transfer portal signees, what's that number going to look like? And he threw out a number of 38. There's a lot of ways to get what you didn't get with high school kids. And I honestly think, depending on the position, it's actually a better route to go. Even though I know he says he wants to build his program with high school players. But for a school like LSU, that if a kid gets in the portal, if they're pretty good, LSU is going to be in a great spot to get them. So I think if you go position by position, I think the wide receiver haul is another crazy one. They got some great defensive ends. Getting Lance Hurd, the top offensive lineman in the state, and a 5-star. If he can come in and play like the 2 freshmen last year, then you get Emory Jones to move inside. That'll be a big plus. 2 great running backs. The wide receiver room at LSU, on paper, when I think of all the great wide receiver groups that LSU's ever had, and they've been amazing, on paper, is there one as deep and as talented as the ones they're going to have next year? With Butte, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Chris Hilton off the injury. Then you're going to throw in Aaron Anderson, the 5-star from Kaare, who got in the portal, and you now got, because that's the one kid that you were sick about last year. And he's immediately an answer in the return game. Shelton Sampson, the 5-star wide receiver from Catholic, Kyle Parker from Texas, Jaylen Brown from Miami, Kai Preen from St. James. The receiver room at LSU is insane. So now Jaden Daniels is back. We broke that news on December 5th, but it became official today. And so now the trick is, can Jaden Daniels be consistent and keeping those wide receivers happy next season?
Yeah, can he take it up another level in his final college season too? That would be great, because he had a pretty darn good year.
Yeah, final college season. I think when he started college football, he had just gotten an iPhone 4.
It was the Carter administration. There's some dude, I think he's got like a 7th year of eligibility. I just read some guy's in his 7th year of eligibility with COVID and all this stuff. Hey, Mike, LSU probably and I mentioned those 2 previous years before Kelly arrived, sort of a disaster. LSU's about 15 to 20 players below where they normally would be scholarship-wise, like under 40 instead of having around like 60 or so. They're going to bring in maybe as many as 38. Does that include some of these stragglers, these high school kids that are like in the top 100, top 200 best athletes available that have yet to decide? Is LSU in the running for any of them? And then who are the transfer guys they could be looking at, or at least the positions?
That's just it. There's a lot of unknowns with that. I would have to go look and see. I tend to think the majority of the kids, the guys that are going to make up the rest of the numbers towards 38 are going to be transfer portal.
Yeah. And what positions, Mike? Like D-line, defensive back?
Definitely corner. You got to have another corner or 2.
Yep.
Maybe a center.
And ideally not like the trio they brought in last year where you only have 1 year of eligibility. You'd like to, like these D linemen they brought in, you get a couple of years out of them. Hey, Mike, real quick, it's tigerbait.com, right?
That's it, tigerbait.com. Go subscribe. and you'll get all the ocean info you need.
Yep, and it's $1. You can't beat it. TigerBait.com. Thank you, Mike. Corey Johnson with you. Don't move.
For years, you've been hearing about the virtues of Springfield Wellness Center and their successful treatment of over 1,000 individuals who overcame their substance addiction. Now it's your turn. Here's Springfield's founder, Paula Norris Medier.
Our Brain Restoration Plus Detox Treatment is an intravenous nutritional supplement that restores the brain's chemical imbalances. Our patients detox with minimal withdrawal symptoms. It also blocks the craving, which is unbelievable and which is why most people say they have a hard time believing, but it restores neuron function. Many treatment programs use one drug to get you off of another drug. At Springfield, we treat the problem. Addiction is first a brain disease. If you or a loved one suffer from substance abuse, please just give us a call.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center now, 504-291-2800. That's 291-2800.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOAC.com, your cool spot.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarm. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days are ours. These days are ours. Share them with me. By gray sky.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock power hour, Christmas week. Yeah, no happy days, no Fonzie, no Potsy. None of that. No jumping the shark. Hey, none of that. Got a good one lined up for you, though. It is Christmas week. Hey, guys, Sunday is Christmas Day. That means you've got a couple of days to solve your gift-giving problem. You know the deal. Flowers are one thing. That's okay. You can't go wrong with flowers. That'd be a nice touch. But the real deal, I'm going to throw out 2 things that are going to solve your problem. 2 stops and you're done. Problem solved, I promise you. Get her what she wants, a day of relaxation, a full-blown day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Go to one of the 4 locations, get the ditty bag in the lobby, and have someone help you and pick out stuff in that lobby area for her, like candles and bath salts and moisturizers and slippers and a robe and the things she heats up to put on her neck, all that kind of stuff. The little fluffy things she can, put her soap on and shower with and all that. They've got all those goodies at the Woodhouse Day Spa. 4 locations, convenient for everybody. Mid-City, New Orleans, Canal Street at Carrollton. Convenient for a lot of folks. They're in Metairie by North Kenner, Transcontinental, West Esplanade. Convenient for a lot of folks. They're on I-10 at Gauze and Slidell on the North Shore. Convenient for a lot of folks. You folks in Mandeville, Covington, 20 minutes away down I-12. Get your gift certificates because early next year, the Mandeville location of the Woodhouse Day Spa opens its doors. They're also open in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. Convenient for a lot of people. You just heard Mike Scarborough. He was right by there, stuck in traffic. Get out of that traffic, Baton Rouge, folks. Get to the Woodhouse Day Spa. Yeah, I recommend going to one of the locations because you not only get the gift card, the day of relaxation for, a gift card of any denomination, whatever you want to spend, but get the stuff in the lobby area for, the stuff I mentioned, the candles, the bath salts, the moisturizers, those types of things. They'll put it in a nice little bag with the rope handles, the tissue paper, the ribbons, the bow. You're done. They like the thought more than the gift. Women aren't materialistic like we are. We want the big screen TV. They go, God, he went inside. He picked out these candles, this bath salt, all these little items. Gosh, how thoughtful. Guys, she wants a day of relaxation at the city's premier day spa. She wants to go to the Woodhouse Day Spa. You want to do it right? Get with a buddy of yours where the girlfriend, wives are best friends. Y'all both do it. They get to go together. Their day of relaxation. Grand slam home run. Woodhouse Day Spa. Now, here's the kicker for you folks that are real procrastinators. If by Saturday you're still stressed out, yeah, the Woodhouses are all open on Saturday late. Open late today, open late tomorrow, open late on Saturday. You can go online Christmas morning. That would be sad and pathetic. You go to the Walgreens, get the Hallmark card, go online, nola.woodhousespas.com, and print your own gift certificate online to give to her. nola.woodhousespas.com. NOLA www.woodhousespas.com. All right, that's one problem solved. A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Go to one of the 4 locations, get the ditty bag with all the goodies. You ready for the other one? Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Go see Ken Friend at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. You do have a friend in the jewelry business. They're on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Think natural diamonds, 1 billion years old, not man-made diamonds. Separate yourself. Get her what she wants, something that has enduring value, that appreciates in value, something special, not something common that the market's getting flooded by these man-made diamonds that are made in 3 weeks. There are a lot of jewelry stores pushing man-made diamonds. Same thing, cheaper, better clarity, all of that. It's nonsense. There are real natural diamonds that are 1 billion, with a B, 1 billion years old. That's like getting an asteroid, a lunar rock or something. What can you buy on planet Earth? What can you acquire on planet Earth that is 1 billion years old, that's beautiful for her? That's special. That's enduring. That increases in value. Something that decreases in value, a man-made diamond that's 3 weeks old. Come on, there's a major difference between the two. And there's a major reason a lot of these stores are pushing man-made diamonds. They make a lot of money off of them. It's a big profit maker for them right now until the prices bottom out in a few years, because every man-made diamond depreciates in value, and every natural diamond, quality diamond that's natural, goes up in value. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Yeah, they're open tomorrow. They're open on Christmas Eve. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Guys, Christmas, don't blow it. Now's not the time to be cheap or tight, or I don't want to part with the money. A lot of you are in denial about that. Could be 30, 40, 50 years into adulthood. You're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're still kind of tight and cheap, and you're in denial about it. When it comes to her, now's not the time to do it. And here's the beautiful part. You folks that are tight and cheap and acknowledge it and realize it, and you go get her what she wants, she's going to be like, wow, it's going to be an extra special Christmas. Yeah, change that mentality. Tight and cheap is terrible. Money is all relative. Someone that's poor, lower middle class, rich, wealthy, tight and cheap, it's all relative. If you have the money, don't have the money, you don't have it, you can't spend it. But being tight and cheap is a different thing, and it's a bad trait. It's a bad trait. Money makes people funny. Money makes people funny. Holiday season, a gift for her, a special time. Now's not the time to be cheap, tight, money making you funny, that kind of thing. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you're right. Christmas is Sunday. A week from this Sunday, it'll be 2023. Unbelievable. Time flying by. Hey, it's, 60 degrees right now, 63 degrees in Metro New Orleans. It'll be 40 degrees colder in about the next 12 to 14 hours. 60-something degrees right now, 20-something degrees when you wake up in the morning, and I'm not kidding. We all know. Been talking about this for the last few days. North Shore, even colder. Could be high teens, low 20s. And with the wind blowing, the wind chill could be single digits, low teens. Feels like. Insane. Absolutely insane. My buddy called me today, texted me, sent me his odometer reading in Denver, -12. He wasn't happy. -12. No, he was not happy at all. Bozeman, Montana Airport earlier today, actual temperature, not wind chill, Bozeman, Montana, 44 below, 44 below zero. Freezing's 32. 44 below, what is that? 76 degrees below freezing? 76 degrees below freezing. That's insane. That's like Antarctica. Bozeman, Montana Airport, 44 below earlier today. Absolutely crazy. Beyond nutty. That's just too damn cold. It's going to be too damn cold in New Orleans tomorrow morning, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all freezing overnight. Some parts of the North Shore, it may not get above freezing for 2 or 3 days straight. You might slip above for a couple of hours, 34, 35 degrees, and then right back below it again. Saturday in New Orleans, the low is 25 and the high is 37. We're barely getting above freezing for a few hours on Saturday. So no, there'll be long stretches on the South Shore, 10, 12 hours of below freezing temperatures. On the North Shore, even longer. The triple Ps are in effect big time. And believe it or not, the least important of the two are the plants and the pipes. But I'm not saying ignore those. That's stupid. Don't kill your plants if you can protect them. And don't blow up your pipes and have to deal with that. Protect your pipes, protect your plants. But most important, protect your outdoor pets and animals. Protect your outdoor pets and animals. It's easy. You can do it at a Walgreens. Get a box, put a blanket in the box. Get a heat blanket from a Walgreens. Get a space heater from a Walgreens or a Lowe's or a Home Depot or an Ace. That's what I did in my garage. So no wind, protected from the wind and the elements if it rains. I've got a little, clothes hamper with a sheet stuffed in it. Then I've got a heat blanket. It's perfect conditions. Corey Johnson with you. Don't move.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro. For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career.
Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy. That guy's right on the money. You can say anything you like about me, but do not say anything disparaging about old Blue Boy. He's 19. He'll be 20 in March. He's a world champion. Got to be one of the oldest basset hounds on planet Earth, and he's doing just great. Tomorrow, Chicago, the high temperature is 0. 0 in Chicago. The low is -10, -10. Chicago's overnight low tomorrow is -10. Their high temperature tomorrow is 0. Absolutely insane. It's about 60 right now in New Orleans. Tomorrow morning, it'll be about 25 degrees. Protect plants and pipes. Most importantly, protect outdoor animals. And look, there are no outdoor dogs. You jokers, you clowns, you idiots that have a dog and it stays outside all the time, like never comes inside. You are a joker. You are an idiot. A dog's is not meant to be outside all the time. It is a domesticated animal that requires human interaction and not just in the yard. Unbelievable. No, the dogs have to come in. Outdoor cat owners, get a heat blanket, put it in a box, like in a pillowcase. Put a blanket in the box, put that on top. Get maybe a little space heater. That's what I've got. I've got a clothes basket turned on its side, sitting on top of a blanket off the concrete floor, wrapped in a sheet. And then I've got a pillowcase with a heating pad in there. And then I've got a little, little heater that I got from the Lowe's, the Ace Hardware. So I've got a little space heater that sort of is blowing in the direction. So outside it can be 25. In my garage with a roof, with walls, with that heat blanket and the little heater, my outdoor cat will get in there. Be like 50, 60 degrees. Perfect. Be smart with your animals. Most important thing, to protect. 3 straight days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, overnight freeze. Jeff Dorson from the Humane Society joins us on the program. How you doing, Jeff?
Hey, Corey, I really appreciate you taking time to remind your listeners how important this is. Our phone's been ringing since 3:45 this morning. Dogs tied up. It's going to get worse. They're just preparing us for the onslaught of problems with, as you said, dogs aren't meant to be outside, especially in the wintertime.
Nope.
Please, everyone.
Nope.
Bring them in. It's not that complicated.
No, and you folks that see your jackass or idiot neighbor or someone you know or don't know that you see a dog chained up or tied up outside in this ridiculous weather, call the authorities. Call the Humane Society of Louisiana. 888-6-HUMANE. 888-6-HUMANE. Please make that call. Jeff, you join us each and every week. I want to say it was last week. I thought I wrote down the 4 things that
I can help you. Yep.
Yeah. What are the 4 things
The 4 legal requirements of every pet owner: adequate food, shelter, water, and vet care.
Food, water, shelter, vet care. I found it. Yep. Food, water, shelter, vet care.
Yep.
Anyway, so if one of those 4 are lacking, call the authorities or call the Humane Society of Louisiana. Humane Society of Louisiana number is easy to remember. 888-6-HUMANE. 888-6-HUMANE. Call them if you see a dog chained up or dogs out on the street. Too cold for animals to be outside.
And people listening, let's try and raise $150 in the next few minutes. We're going to use it to buy an insulated igloo. Not that we want an animal outside, but because some people are hard-headed and they refuse to bring them in, we're going to drive this igloo that you help us pay for, $150, in Blue Boy's honor. And we'll go take a picture of it, of where we deliver it to. If any of your listeners are interested, we'll make it happen. So $150 in the next few minutes in honor of Blue Boy, our 19-year-old Basset Hound who's doing great. That's Corey's dog.
Yeah. Now, the igloo, you're talking about the little dog house that's plastic, and this one would be insulated, so totally protected from rain, weather, and the wind.
Yeah, and we'll order a flap to go with it, so it's really a nice little house. You know, we don't want that, but if people are just refusing to bring them in, we'll deliver a dog house.
So it's about $150 investment.
Yep.
All right, I like that. HumaneLA.org. Jeff's looking for $150 to save one animal. HumaneLA.org is the website. HumaneLA.org. You can check out what they do on Facebook, Humane Society of Louisiana. The phone number again, 888-6-HUMANE, 888-6-HUMANE. What else is happening, Jeff?
That's mainly taking most of our time, but we are preparing for next legislative session. We want more funding from the state to go to different animal shelters for construction, repairs, upgrades, because typically they never think about it. It's never on their radar, and we're going to make it this year. Everybody's going to be thinking about how can we help our public shelters. A lot of parishes don't even have them. So imagine what happens when a cop makes an arrest and there's 3 dogs in the house. He has no place to take them. Or makes an arrest and there's a dog in the car. Or somebody passes away and there's animals inside. There's a multitude of reasons why we have to have these services, and they get overlooked. And they're essential. So we'll be pressing from the next 5 years forward how to get more money from the state, which is everybody's chipping in, and yet we all get dividends from it. We all want more services available to us. So it's a good thing.
No, you get all this established, and you'd get a funding, system put in place where it's sustainable, and it's just improving something that we're terrible at in Louisiana. Terrible at. Hey, Jeff, you could use volunteer help, I'm sure, over the weekend, and you guys are going to be real busy. What's the final message you have for folks that have outdoor animals with this Friday, Saturday, Sunday insane cold weather we're having? About to have.
Your pets or your family, try and trade places just for a few minutes with your dog chained to a tree and see if you prefer being comfortable inside or still chained to that tree. So please make the right choice. Bring everybody in, make them part of your family, make everybody happy. We could also use used cars. We have a real need. We travel around the state a lot. There are forever, we could use some upgrades. So if you have a used vehicle, think of us, 1-888-6-HUMANE. And until next week, we wish you and Blue Boy and your tribe a great holiday season, Corey.
You're the man. Right back at you, Jeff. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, brother. That's Jeff Dorson, Humane Society of Louisiana, 888-6-HUMANE. 888-6-HUMANE. Their website's humanela.org. Yeah, please go there and donate. They need money for the next 3 days because there are a lot of people that don't care. They make excuses. I don't want the dog inside. He's going to be dirty. He's been outside for so long. He needs a bath before he comes in. He can handle the cold, just on and on and on. People making worthless excuses. People have animals and they don't bring them to the vet. People have animals and they hear me saying, man, if you have a dog in South Louisiana, it is a must. It's not an option. It's a must. If you're a responsible dog owner, every month, anti-heartworm medicine. Every month. There's no exceptions to this. A vet visit twice a year. But a lot of folks, they go to the vet every few years, only if the dog or cat gets sick. They're not giving them Trifexis for heartworms or flea or tick medicine. None of that. It's just irresponsible pet ownership. Some folks have dogs, they think it's like an alarm system. Some folks have dogs, they never come inside the house. The dog is outside only. It's insane. What's wrong with you inhumane people that have no sense of anything but yourself? Think beyond yourself for a minute. Try to have empathy. Try to have some understanding of something besides yourself and your own needs. My God, don't have an animal if you're going to be irresponsible like that. But, you know, I say that and people procreate and have children that shouldn't procreate and have children. It's insane. I have acquaintances that are college educated, that the husband and the wife make six figures, 2 or 3 kids. The kids have no chance. No chance. I see these kids, they're screwed up right now on drugs, doing stupid stuff, stealing, just acting like idiots, drunk, alcoholics, kids. Yeah, because the parents are idiots and they're not parents. Anyone can procreate. That's fun and easy. Being a father and a mother, that's a little more difficult. Actually, being a parent and you know, as a man, you're like third at best. Kids are number 1. Wife's number 2. You're third at best. The mother-in-law could be number 3. You know, your family, like your brothers and sisters, your mother could be 3. You could be 4 as a man who's married with kids. You're not number 1 anymore. Not number 1 anymore. Boy, the 4 o'clock hour, Ronal Serpas joined us. You can check that out on YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. A lot of good insight on former Chief Ferguson, Interim Chief Woodfork, how to solve the problems of the NOPD. Former NOPD Chief Ronal Serpas joined us in the 4 o'clock hour. Tiger fans, Mike Scarborough joined us at the end of the 4 o'clock hour, filling us in on LSU football recruiting. Brian Kelly. And just now, Jeff Dorson, Humane Society of Louisiana. What an important number to have over the weekend. If you see a dog chained up, a dog outside, the owner's just not taking care of the animals. You know people right now that have bad, you know, they neglect their animals. And now it's going to be 3 days of ridiculously cold weather. Call the Humane Society of Louisiana. 888-6-HUMANE. 888-6-HUMANE. My sheet from a few weeks ago. Food, water, shelter, and vet care. By law, an animal owner, those things have to be obvious. Food and water. So if a dog's chained up and there's no food bowls or water out there, breaking the law, the dog can be taken. Shelter. Can't just have a dog outside chained to a tree getting rained on, snowed on, laying in mud and puddles. And vet care. The dog's missing a bunch of fur, doesn't look healthy, emaciated. Any of those reasons. No, come on, got to act humane. You don't want dogs dying in the cold. It's ridiculous. 888-6-HUMANE. 888-6-HUMANE. You know, Ronal Serpas joined us. We were talking about the NOLA Coalition. We're both like it. It's a good thing. But it's so ridiculous that it actually exists. Our elected officials are supposed to be doing this. You know? We don't need this middleman, this NOLA Coalition to, hey, this is what the citizens want. Now do this. That's what the elected officials are for. It's sort of, I'm glad the NOLA Coalition's there, and it's necessary, but it's ridiculous. Jeff Dorson and the Humane Society, kind of like the NOLA Coalition. If Louisiana, if we had our you-know-what together and acted humane and realized, yeah, animals, they're out there all over the place in Louisiana. People just dump them off on the side of the road. We need a, really good, animal control all over the state. We need no-kill shelters. Louisiana SPCA on the West Bank puts down animals all the time. It's not a no-kill shelter. It's plush. It's nice. Shame on you, Louisiana SPCA. You got to do a better job. In 2023, commit yourself to making it a no-kill shelter. You can't be putting down hundreds and hundreds of animals every year. averaging like 2 or 3 a day on the West Bank, euthanizing. That's pathetic. That's failing. Your mission statement and all the money you raise, all the built-in money that you get every year, millions of dollars, and you're putting down animals, Zarilla, all you folks at the Louisiana SPCA, get off your ass and do the job right or shut it down. It's an incredible state-of-the-art facility, and you guys kind of suck. You guys kind of suck. Got to do better. No kill shelter in 2023. Wake up. It's pathetic. No, come on. Act right, people. Act humane. Treat people better. Treat animals better. Act humane. Don't act like you act in an inhumane way towards animals and people and then show up for church on Sunday. I don't know about your God. My God, Jesus, he's ignoring you. He's like, what a joke you are. Hypocrite all week doing the stuff I hate, and then you show up here begging for help and not asking for help for the problems you do during the week, the inhumane stuff. Come on, wake up. Introspection. Look in the old mirror. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Gene Checkeye. Kenny Lopez, I used to work with Kenny over at Channel 26. Kenny's just a really nice guy, good reporter, super nice guy, just positive, never negative, doesn't talk bad about a person, just a good dude. His bike got stolen, so did his biking buddy, Dean Checkeye. What Checkeye did, he found some used bikes, brought them to a bike shop, paid the bike shop guy to fix them up. And the bike shop guy was inquiring, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to give them back to people that had their bikes stolen. One of them went to Kenny Lopez, and he gave another bike to a young kid, like a 9-year-old kid who didn't think he was going to have a really good Christmas. Good story. Check it out on the Channel 26 website. I just wanted to give Dean Checkow a shout out for doing some really good work. Kenny Lopez doing a good story, and Dean Checkow having his bike stolen and then turning it into a positive, like the old, lemons in the lemonade gimmick. Good job, Dean. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Hey, did you check out Zelenskyy yesterday in D.C.? That was strong stuff. That was pretty powerful. The standing ovation when he went into Congress, in front of the joint session of Congress at the Capitol. I'm not kidding. He walked in, standing ovation. It never dropped off. It never dropped off. I mean, Pelosi hit the gavel a couple of times and then put it down and started clapping. It's like, okay, Pelosi, what is it? Stop clapping, or are you going to clap? Literally hitting the gavel and going, oh, God, no, I got to keep clapping. Hit the gavel again. Oh, no, got to clap again. That happened a couple of times. Then finally she hit it, and then she started speaking, the intro to, hey, I want you, as House Speaker, I want you to welcome President of Ukraine. She said the Ukraine. That was a nightmare. And the standing ovation, I'm guessing, I'm pretty good at time. Google it, Jason, how long Zelensky's standing ovation was. I'm in radio and television, so I'm pretty good at time. I'm going to guess it was, and I'm not kidding, this is on the Capitol. It was north of 2 minutes for sure. I'm going to guess, I want to say like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That seems a little long. I'm going to go with like 2:25. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Somebody knows exactly how long that lasted, and it's on Google. We know, Jason?
Everything I'm reading is between 2 and 3 minutes.
Between 2 and 3 minutes. Yeah. What did I say? 2:25, more than 2 minutes, for sure. For sure. It wasn't excessive. It wasn't obnoxious. It was like almost tear-jerking, made you proud as an American. This guy's busting his tail as folks are getting 100,000 plus Ukrainians have died. Russians Russia is ruthless. They're just, it's like blow up power stations and infrastructure to hurt the citizens. They didn't like military. It's the citizen. You're in a boxing match and you punch the wife and the kids. It's like, really? No, Russia is just ruthless and pathetic and invading a sovereign country, all for BS reasons. No, I think Zelenskyy was smart. He understands bipartisan. He understands the two parties, getting with McCarthy, getting with Republicans. Hey, we don't want it to be a blank check. It's going to be like $100 billion and growing. Patriot missiles going to be surrounding, cities like Kyiv and cities that they've retaken so they can't be bombed again. Infrastructure will be protected. They're not going to be offensive weapons like defending soldiers on the front lines in an offensive way, even though they're defensive weapons. They're going to be purely defensive weapons protecting cities and assets like power plants and like from missile attacks. So very advanced Patriot missile systems, billions of dollars in Patriot missile systems going to Ukraine. No, Zelenskyy was pretty damn good yesterday. Vice President, House Speaker holding the flag the wrong way that he gave with all the signatures. But, whatever. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. About 60 degrees right now. Temperature drop of 35, 40 degrees coming in the next 12 hours or so. When we wake up in the AM, it'll be 25 degrees. This is an important thing to know. Not so much that we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios every day. That's nice to know. But what's nice to know is River City's Total Maintenance, honest heating experts that come immediately. Honest heating experts that come immediately. A few years ago on a Sunday, I had some needs. It was actually hot on a Sunday this time of year, and my AC went out. I called River City's Total Maintenance. Phil came out on this Sunday. It was Easter Sunday. So not only a Sunday, but Easter Sunday, and I'm not making this up. About 7-8 years ago, got my AC working again on Easter Sunday. Saturday's Christmas Eve. Sunday is Christmas. A week from this Saturday, New Year's Eve. A week from this Sunday, New Year's Day. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Christmas night. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, New Year's night, weekday, weekend, holiday, overnight, especially this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You might be running your heat for the first time. If your heat's not working right or worse, isn't working at all or goes out, you can't stay in a house with these freezing temperatures. River City's Total Maintenance is there. You probably won't need heat help, but someone out there will need heat help that's listening or watching right now. Honest heating experts that come immediately. I'll make it easy for you. NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know. If you need heat help over the weekend, over the holidays, anytime, NOLAAC.com. NOLAAC.com.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
For years, you've been hearing about the virtues of Springfield Wellness Center and their successful treatment of over 1,000 individuals who overcame their substance addiction. Now it's your turn. Here's Springfield's Dr. Richard Metier.
For over 20 years, we've successfully treated patients with substance abuse issues and have also had success with patients suffering from chronic stress, depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. We uniquely address restorative issues at the cellular level that impact mental health. We treat our patients with an intravenous nutritional supplement that helps restore various brain functions. Most of our patients have greatly reduced withdrawal symptoms. We work toward maximizing nutritional interventions while utilizing traditional medication interventions when needed. Our treatment works toward restoring the brain's health while returning the patient to a normal, dependent-free life.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center now, 504-291-2800. That's 291-2800.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Hey guys, still no present for her? Christmas is Sunday. What are you waiting on? I've got not one, but two great answers to your problem. A day of relaxation at the Woodhouse Day Spa. There are 4 area locations. I recommend getting the gift card for the full-blown day of relaxation. Facial, manicure, pedicure, massage, all kind of great stuff. Get with your buddy, where your wife or girlfriends or best friends, they can do it together. That's a super grand slam home run. NOLA.woodhousespas.com. You can go online and print your own gift certificates. I recommend going to one of the 4 locations because in that lobby foyer area in the front, you can get one of the people to help you and fill a little ditty bag up with, candles and bath salts and moisturizers and stuff that she will love. So head to one of the 4 area Woodhouse locations: Mid-City, New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, on the North Shore, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. Coming soon, early next year, a Mandeville location. Gotta like that. NOLA.woodhousespas.com. Guys, it's what she wants. Hey, do not get fooled this time of year, guys. There's something I've been talking about for months, because it's just, I think, more of like a public service type thing. There's a lot of jewelry stores that are pushing man-made diamonds. Diamonds that are made in 3 weeks by a machine, man-made, and acting like they're the same thing as a natural diamond. They just happen to be man-made, and there's no difference. There's a major difference. These jewelry stores are kind of screwing you around. They're pushing these man-made diamonds because there are huge profits for the jewelry store and a big loser for you. You're not getting a natural diamond that's 1 billion years old, that's rare, that appreciates in value. You're getting a man-made diamond that's 3 weeks old, that's not rare at all, that's mass-produced, and is depreciating in value. There's nothing similar to a man-made diamond and a natural billion-year-old diamond. Don't make the mistake, guys, and get suckered into these jewelry stores. A lot of you want to get suckered into it. Seriously. You want to get fooled. You want to buy the man-made diamond. You want to give it to your wife or girlfriend and act like you don't know any better, and hopefully she's happy and she doesn't ask you any questions. And the rest of your life, you go to bed at night knowing you gave her this inferior gift. What's wrong with you? I would rather get smaller natural diamonds than bigger man-made diamonds that are going to basically be worthless in the future. Depreciating in value, man-made, 3 weeks old, almost worthless. Go with the real McCoy, 1 billion years old, enduring value, diamonds that appreciate, natural diamonds. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Ken Friend's there. He'll take care of you. You do have a friend in the jewelry business. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. You'll find something unique, special for her, enduring value that you'll find nowhere else. Guys, Christmas is Sunday. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Where? Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Christmas is Sunday. Don't blow it. Boy, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, overnight freeze. Some parts, especially North Shore, like north of Covington, maybe up in like Bush, Folsom, those places, may not get above freezing for like 24, 30 hours at a clip. I think on the South Shore, we could see 8, 10, 12, 15 hours of freezing weather at some point. Like Saturday, for instance. The low is 25. On the South Shore, the high is 37. Just a few degrees above freezing on Saturday. And that's going to be just for a few hours. It's absolutely crazy. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, freezing temperatures. A lot of hunkering down, a lot of staying inside. And Sunday is Christmas. For all your needs for those 3 days of hunkering down, there's a Rouse's Market near you. Get to your Rouse's right now, tonight. Best quality, best price, best selection. They've got everything you need for hunkering down Friday, Saturday, and Christmas Sunday. Tastes like home. Yeah, get to your Rouse's Market. Corey Johnson with you. Did you check out Zelenskyy in D.C. yesterday, last night, his speech to Congress? Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Speaking of pretty cool, Ronal Serpas joined us for about 30 minutes last hour. You can check that out on YouTube, Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. Breaking down former Chief Ferguson, breaking down Interim Chief Woodfork, National Search, how to fix the problems. Ronal Serpas in the last hour. Tiger fans around 450. Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com joined us for a few minutes, breaking down the LSU football recruiting class, what Brian Kelly's doing. We cranked up the 5 o'clock powwow with Jeff Dorson from the Humane Society. Outdoor pets, so important to bring them inside over the next few days. If you see a dog outside, chained up outside, call the Humane Society of Louisiana. Easy number to remember, 888-6-HUMANE, 888-6-HUMANE. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, why don't you start 2023? A week from this Sunday, 2023, 9 days out from the new year. Why don't you start it with a new job, a new career? Latrim.com has a new job, a new career for you. Dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs on their website right now. Not like 2 or 3 openings, dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs. For you East Bank, West Bankers in Elmwood, and for you North Shore folks, they got you covered in Hammond. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
At Helm Paint, we go the extra mile with free delivery anywhere in the metro area. In the middle of a job and short on paint? Call us and we'll come to you.
Short on time? Call in your order and pick it up in the drive-thru at our Earhart Boulevard location.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarm. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Christmas is Sunday. Don't blow it, guys. Get her a day of relaxation at the city's premier day spa experience. She wants this gift. She'll be happy. Woodhouse Day Spa. The website, nola.woodhousespas.com. nola.woodhousespas.com. Jewelry, including natural diamonds. Friend & Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Go see Ken Friend. Jewelry for her for Christmas from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Grand Slam home run. Go see Ken Friend at Friend & Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday, about 60 degrees right now. In about 12 hours, it'll be about 35 degrees colder. Do the math. 60 minus 35, 25, and I'm not kidding. 25 degrees on the South Shore in New Orleans when we wake up in the morning. What's that, Blue Boy? You want all your friends that have outdoor animals to be brought inside, dogs especially. Outdoor cats need protection. And not just a cardboard box, a heat blanket, a space heater, in the garage, a roof, walls. I hear you, Blue Boy. People need to be humane and smart. Dangerous cold temperatures. 93.9 FM, New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right.